What's happening, people? So we're doing a second video. I'm just waiting for food to cook. I'm just chilling out here. I was up on YouTube for a minute, and I was also uploading the video. It took a little while for that video to be uploaded. But this video is going to be a short one. It's on Manny Pacquiao and his greatness. And there's a couple things I just noticed, and I just want to talk about this. So if you guys go through Manny Pacquiao's career so far, you'll find out that Manny Pacquiao has faced 16 WBC or WBA champions, whether they're present champions or former champions, or they become future champions. Now this is very important. Let me tell you why. The WBC and the WBA are the original titles that makes undisputed. Alright? As I said before, they were known as the New York State Athletic Commission, and they were known as the National Boxing Association, NBA and NYSAC. So what's interesting about this is that you can't make the excuse, well, there's so many other champions out there in the world. No. There's only one WBC champion. There's only one WBA champion. And by the way, the WBA champion I'm talking about is super champion. If there is two champions, is a super champion. And with 16 of them. And I would go through it with you on BoxRec, but you can go ahead and check that out for yourself. I thought this was very interesting information. Alright? And there was a certain time when all Manny Pacquiao was facing were world champions. Back to back. Of course, they weren't WBC, WBA though. But why I say this is because when you compare Manny Pacquiao all time, you know, this is something worth remembering. 16 WBC, WBA champions, and they were either at some point in time a world champion with the WBC or WBA. That's very, very cool. Okay? Now, Floyd Mayweather, just for the record, he faced 19 WBC, WBA world champions. Okay? Or former world champions. Okay? And that just shows the caliber of opposition these guys faced. It's not like a dime a dozen that you become a world champion. You don't become a WBC world champion or a WBA real world champion, you know, just like that. Okay? So that's very important to realize that, as we say, levels, the certain level of fighter that Pacquiao was facing and Mayweather was facing. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Manny Pacquiao, after he beat Morales the fourth time, I believe he only exclusively faced world champions, which means literally world championships. He had world championship fights exclusively, except for I think Shane Mosley and Joshua Clottey. I think that's it. But most of the other guys were world champions. What's interesting about this too is that the guys were former world champions, so it shows the kind of quality of opposition that Manny Pacquiao faced. Okay. The other thing I want to say is that Manny Pacquiao, you know, a lot of people are saying that Manny Pacquiao he's not in the class of Sugar Ray Robinson or Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, and I don't agree with that, and I'll show you why. Sugar Ray Robinson was beaten by Carmen Basilio. Carmen Basilio moved up from welterweight to middleweight and won the middleweight championship against Sugar Ray Robinson by split decision. Why that's interesting and important is because Sugar Ray Robinson was beaten by a smaller guy. Watch this. The theme goes on and on and on. When you talk about Muhammad Ali, the first guy to beat him was Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was a smaller guy. Again, he weighed less than Muhammad Ali. Then we have Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was beaten by Roberto Duran. That's how he got his first loss. Who was he beaten? What was Roberto Duran? He came up from lightweight. So for anybody to tell me that Manny Pacquiao shouldn't even be in the conversation with these guys, they don't know what they're saying. Because he, of all people, should be in the conversation. Because he's a smaller guy that came up from lower weight classes. And if these guys could be beaten by smaller guys, what for Manny Pacquiao? He had every advantage in the world. And so I thought this was just an interesting comment I wanted to make and add to the discussion about Manny Pacquiao being the greatest of all time. There are a number of other factors involved in being the greatest of all time that have nothing to do necessarily with boxing. It has to do with the individual, their personality, etc. And so that's why, you have to think about those things. These are some other factors like Manny Pacquiao's, his his humanitarian work and so on. So you have to factor that in when you're talking about greatest of all time. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. Those 2 extra points. There are a lot of Pacquiao fans out there, and he has a huge country behind him, and that's awesome. For all the Pacquiao fans out there, of which I am one, I was a skeptic before, and then I became a fan. I just want to let you guys know that this guy is performing phenomenally, and whatever happens going on in the future, I don't think he has much more fights left. But whatever happens, I do believe this guy has inspired a lot of people and showed people how much the impossible is possible. And that's the thing about Manny Pacquiao that you gotta love. You guys have a good one.